Good morning, students. This is 10th standard biology video class, video 5. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson genetics. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen what is DNA, what is chromosome, what is gene, and we have seen structure of DNA, Watson-Crick model of DNA, and Chargaff base pair rule. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Now in this video we are going to see the topic replication of DNA, significance of DNA, and sex determination in humans. Dear students, DNA is a double-stranded helix structure which is made up of polynucleotide. Nucleotide means consists of sugar molecule, phosphate group, and nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases are divided into two, purine and pyrimidine. Purine consists of adenine and guanine. Pyrimidine consists of cytosine and thymine. According to Chargaff rules, adenine is combined with thymine and guanine is combined with cytosine with the help of hydrogen bond. Hydrogen and thymine link with two hydrogen bond. Guanine and cytosine link with three hydrogen bonds. And also, the proportion of the adenine is equal to the thymine. Likewise, the proportion of guanine is equal to the cytosine. So, these are all the different topics we have seen in the previous video class. Now, how this DNA replicated in an organism? It is the basic process which is occurring in all the living cells. How the DNA molecule which are producing exact carbon copy of the newly formed DNA structure by the process known as replication process. The two-strand, that is double-strand helix of a DNA which consists of pair of complementary bases, that is adenine and thymine, guanine and cytosine. Or we can able to say purine and pyrimidine are paired together, that is known as complementary base pair. The nucleotide of the each strand which gives the information to produce the newly formed strand. So the nucleotide sequence only essential for the protection of newly formed DNA strand. So as a result, newly formed daughter cells are produced with exact same genetic information present in the parental strand. That is known as DNA replication. This replication is taken place in different steps. First one, origin of replication. In the double-stranded helix model of DNA, in the particular point only the replication is taken place. That site is known as site of origin of replication. It is not taken place the entire length of the DNA structure. In the particular place only the replication is taken place. That site of DNA is known as origin of replication. So in that site of origin, the two strands are open and separate, forming the replication fork. So replication fork means newly formed strand which is going to be produced, new daughter strand with nitrogenous bases. That is said to be replication fork. That means the double stranded coiled structure which is separated into two strands. That fork is called replication fork. It is taken place in the particular site. That site is known as site of origin of replication. The next step is unwinding of DNA molecule. That means two double-stranded helix of a DNA is separated into two single strand with the help of the enzyme is known as helicase. So this helicase only, which is present in the site of origin of replication, which separates the double-stranded DNA into two single-stranded DNA. The another enzyme is known as topoisomerase, which separates the double helix above the replication fork and removes the twist forming during the unwinding process. Dear students, for example, if you are taking a thread which coiled nature, we are separating with the help of your fingers into two separate strands. Whenever we are separating, at the time the other end is twisted. It's coiled nature, suthikonalla, isn't it? That is said to be unwinding process. Those unwinding process of DNA is separated by the enzyme is known as topoisomerase. Topoisomerase. So each separated newly formed strands are known as template. With the help of helicase, the double-stranded helix DNA molecules are separated into two single strands. Whenever we are separating this two single strand, the other end of the DNA is supercoiled. That supercoiled nature is taken place with the help of the enzyme is known as topoisomerase. That is said to be unwinding of DNA molecule. Next step is formation of RNA primer. Dear students, RNA primer is a small segment of RNA nucleotide. This primer is synthesized in the RNA molecule. So this RNA primer, which is a small segment of RNA nucleotide, this RNA primer is produced by the newly formed DNA template which close to the origin of replication site. So in this replication site of the newly formed DNA strand, the RNA nucleotides which produce the small segment of RNA primer, that is known as synthesis of RNA primer. Then final step is new complementary strand from the parental strand. Synthesis of new complementary strand from the parental strand. That means daughter strands are produced from the parental strand. After the formation of RNA primer in the newly formed DNA template. What is the new DNA template? The double-stranded helix DNA is separated into two strands, isn't it? That two strands are known as, what is that one? Template. DNA template. In that template only, which one is formed? RNA primer is produced. This RNA primer is a small segment present in the RNA nucleotides. So after the formation of RNA primer, nucleotides are added with the help of another enzyme known as DNA polymerase. After that means adding of nucleotide sequence with the help of DNA polymerase, newly formed complementary strand of DNA is formed from each of the parental strand. So this newly formed DNA strand is taken place in only one direction, that is known as unidirectional. So synthesis of DNA is taken place in only one way or one direction. So this is known as unidirectional synthesis. So dear students, now in the newly formed strand which contains nucleotide sequences, this nucleotide sequences and newly formed strand synthesis is unidirectional. In one strand, the daughter strand is produced continuously, which is known as leading strand. There is no breakage. Continuously, the nucleotide sequences are added in the newly formed DNA strand. So one side, the new daughter strand is formed with the continuously. That strand is known as leading strand. In other strand, second strand, the synthesizing of newly daughter strand is not continuous. They are occurring in the form of small short segments. Tundu tunda irukku. They are occurring in the form of small short segments of DNA with the nucleotide sequence. This strand is known as lagging strand. Why it's said to be lagging strand? It is not continuous. It is in the form of small fragments. Tundu tunda irukku. So these fragments of DNA is known as Okazaki fragments because this was first observed by the scientist Okazaki. In one of the DNA daughter strand, the replication is not continuous. It is in the form of fragments. It was observed by Okazaki. That fragments is known as Okazaki fragments. Those strand is known as lagging strand. These fragments are joined together by the enzyme is known as DNA ligase. Now, the two parental strands are producing the daughter strand. Out of these two strands, one is the leading strand, that replication is continuously taken place. The other strand, the replication is taken place in the form of fragments. These fragments are connected together by the enzyme is known as DNA ligase. So after the formation of two strands, the replication stops and the two replication sites of the DNA are meet together at a point is known as terminus, which is opposite to the site of origin of replication site. So thus the newly formed DNA is produced by the process is known as DNA replication. For this process, many enzymes are responsible to separate the DNA and form the two different daughter strands, leading strand and lagging strand. Lagging strand is in a form of fragments. These fragments are known as Okazaki fragments. These fragments afterwards connected together by the enzyme DNA ligase. After the formation of newly formed strand, the replication stops. Both the strands are meet at the point is known as terminus, which is opposite to the site of origin of replication. Dear students, I hope you all understood how DNA replication is taken place. Next we are going to see significance of DNA is a very, very important 4-mark question. DNA replication is the important 5-mark question. Dear students, significance of DNA. DNA only which contains genetic material, that is gene. The genes which are carrying or transmitting parental character from one generation to another generation. That is the first advantage, significance or uses of DNA. Dear students, this DNA contains informations required for the protein formation. So protein formation is taken place with the help of DNA, which are giving the information. Then it controls the developmental process and life activities of an organism. So it controls all the life activities and developmental process taken place in an organism is controlled by DNA. So these three are the significance of DNA. First one, it transmitting the hereditary character from one generation to another generation. Second one, it gives information for the formation of protein molecules. Third one, it controls developmental process and life activities of an organism. Dear students, see the diagram. This is the replication of DNA. So this is the double-stranded DNA helix, which is separated into 2 strands. Whenever you are separating with the help of helicase enzyme, the opposite side, which is coiled tightly with the help of the enzyme, is known as, what is that one? Topoisomerase. So in the left side, see that one, the enzyme helicase, which separate the 2 strands. One strand which are showing the continuous replication at the base there, that is said to be leading strand. The another one, the replication is taken place in the form of fragments, that is known as Wakasagi fragments. Before the breaking of these strands, with the help of the enzyme RNA primer, they are adding the nucleotide sequence in the newly formed strand. So, discontinuous strands are known as lagging strand. Continuous strands are known as leading strand. Then, the nucleotide sequences are adding with the help of the enzyme is known as DNA polymerase. After that, these Wakasagi fragments are united together, joined together with the help of the enzyme is known as DNA ligase. Once the 2 daughter strands are formed, the replication is stopped. Both the ends are meet at the point, it's known as terminus, which is present opposite to the origin of replication site. So this is said to be the replication of DNA with the diagram. Dear students, next we are going to see sex determination. That means how human beings which are showing variability in the sex organs, that is male organ and the female sex organ, that is said to be sex determination. The formation of zygote into male or female sex during the developmental stage. Okay, fusion of male gametes and the female gametes produce the diploid zygote. We already seen the reproduction in human lesson. This zygote afterwards, how it is produced, a male human and the female human, during the sex development. That is known as sex determination. 2 mark question. What is sex determination? The formation of zygote into male and female sex during development is called sex determination. So this sex determination, whether it is male person or a female person, is determined by the chromosome of an individual. Dear students, in our body, we are having 23 pairs of chromosomes. That is 46 chromosomes. Out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are present in the body cell or somatic chromosome or autosome. The remaining 1 pair is known as sex chromosome or allosome. That one we already seen in the karyotypic method. Here, how the human being considered to be a male person and the female person, depending upon the chromosome structure. Dear students, female gametes or the egg are formed or similar in the chromosome which contains 22 body cell plus 1 pair with the XX chromosome. So XX chromosome means that person is considered to be a female. Therefore, human female are homogametic. Why it said to be homogametic? The sex which are determined by the chromosome which contains same number of gene XX. So that is said to be same means homo. That type of gametic is known as homogametic. Particularly human females are homogametic in sex determination. Next one, the male or the sperm produced are of 2 types. That is, they are produced in equal proportion. The sperm bearing 22 plus X chromosome and the sperm bearing 22 plus Y chromosomes. See that one. They are different chromosomes are pairing with the somatic cells. So that human of male is known as heterogametic. Homogametic means it is present in the female 22 pair with the XX chromosome. Heterogametic means the sperm which is paired with 22 chromosome plus X, and again the sperm is bearing 22 plus Y chromosome. So 2 different chromosomes are pairing with the body chromosome. That condition is known as heterogametic in males. Dear students, see the diagram. The diagrammatic representation of sex determination in human is given here. First one, mother which are having 44 somatic chromosome, body chromosome 22 pair. That is, what is that one? 22 into 2, 44 plus 1 pair of XX chromosome, mother. That is female. When father, 22 pair, that is 44 chromosome plus X chromosome and Y chromosome. So, the mother which are producing the ovum, the chromosomes are separated. Half of the chromosomes, 22 plus X and 22 plus X. That means 50% of character only enter into the next generation. So, ovum. From the father, it is separating 22 plus X plus 22 plus Y. Isn't it? That is said to be the sperm. So both of them join together to form a, again 23 pair, 44, 22 plus 1 pair XX in female. If it is 44 plus XY means that newly born baby is known as male. So that is the sex determination present in the humans. See the another diagram. The male which are denoted as an green color, female are denoted as an yellow color. This side father, then at the top it's given the mother. Mother producing egg or ova with XX chromosome. Then father which are producing sperm with XY chromosomes. They are crossed together. When you are multiplying XX and XX, so both are female. Y with the X means we are getting XY chromosome. So these two are known as male. That means boy. So that is the variation occur in the human beings due to the chromosome present in male and female. That is known as sex determination in human. Dear students, see the paragraph. What are all given in the diagrammatic representation? It's given in the point. Fertilization, that means fusion of egg and sperm. Egg means what is that one? 22 pair plus XX chromosome. With a sperm, that is male gamete, 22 plus X plus Y. X into Y. Isn't it? So that means one sperm with 22 plus X. If they are fused together, means a newly formed baby is known as the female child. That is 44 plus X. While fertilization of the egg, 22 plus X with the sperm, 22 plus Y, will give rise to the male child, that is 44 plus XY. That is the sex determination occur in human. Dear students, I hope have you all understood what is homogametic. That means 22 pair plus XX chromosome, which denoted as an female. Heterogametic means 22 pair plus X, another one 22 plus Y, which are forming female, which is male, which is known as heterogametic condition. At the time of fertilization, one egg is fuses with the sperm, 22 plus X means which forms the female child. Another fertilization, that means during fertilization, one egg 22 plus X which fuses with the sperm 22 plus Y, which is denoted as a boy child or a male child at the time of a birth, which contains 44 plus X, Y. That is sex determination in human. Dear students, up to this lesson is over. In the next video class, we will start the new lesson. God bless you. All the best, children.